Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. We have a discussion about change strategy. We have been working for 2 weeks on the reform, transformation, and change strategy, and we're going to just do a rounding the last 2 week discussion and see, how we're looking at these management tools. Any specific area you found interesting in last 2 weeks, Laman?
Well, I found especially the corporate governance aspect of it. Found it most interesting because I'm able to understand how corporate governance works. The social, the responsibility of an individual, company, organization to the society, and then how the corporate governance works, how you start it, how you end it, how you make people to believe in you, to have a sense of belonging and whatever and the rest.
We looked at the financial crisis as an example in the last 4 or 5 years as they were unfolding.
That's correct.
Me looking at it, let me just say what I feel that
Yeah.
it's. I don't see more regulation and government regulation would have made any difference. It seems people go around it or whatever, but it seems to be something which management has to take it on board and make it a culture, the culture of organization. Do you feel more regulation is needed, or do you feel it's something which more training would bring it?
Well, we could look at it at both sides. When you talk about the government, putting in place, the government has to bring a steeper penalty for for those who violate the laws. Especially if you are caught involved in any kind of fraud, you should be punished appropriately.
Okay, let's hope that regulation would help. What was the area you found interesting in change strategy and
Yes,
reform?
in change strategies that we discussed, especially as it relates to change management, I realized that the 4 Ps of change itself are very important. The purpose of the change, then the people that are going to participate in the change, the process we are going to go through, and of course, the participation, very, very important. And we need to pay a serious attention to communication. Because if we want to introduce change, we need to let all the people know the benefits. What's in it for me? What's in it for them? That is the only way we can get a buy-in of the high participation we expect, and they are going to cooperate with us, all the people that are affected in terms of the staff, the employees, the stakeholders. Everybody needs to be rightly communicated with at the right time so that rumors will not take over and we are going to achieve results. So communication is very important.
Very impressive. You remembered everything on the program. And I know all of you have been practicing. These are not something totally new coming to you. So it is a question of, as you touched on it, that the communication is a very important, even in corporate governance, is transform. I was thinking, like, let's say all those things are in a company, the corporate governance, they have transformed it, they're working. How would you, looking from outside, know that is a good corporate governance? What should a company do to show that they really have got a proper governance in place and they're doing everything ethically?
Well, in the first place, we look at first the organization should have a very clear objective of what they want to achieve. And then putting those objectives, they should have a clear-cut goals for them to achieve the necessary objectives.
I know you're actually working on improving certain efficiencies and productivity in your organization,
Yes.
and you're gonna set targets. I know it's a bit how we would we put targets for organizations. You're gonna be doing some of that. So how
Yeah.
would you do?
Well, first of all, for you to set a target, you have to have the SMART clear, you know exactly what it is. You undertake a study, know exactly what the organization needs and what they wanted, and then for you to have that target, as I said, we use the principles of the SMART
Analysis, yeah.
analysis, and then find out what get the people understand what
You're looking for. And,
looking for you to for them to go along with you in trying to
Achieve
achieve the set target.
It seems communications to be
The most key
the most.
component.
It doesn't
Key
matter. We're
component.
looking at reforms and transformation or changes strategy, with developing target to improve performances or in corporate governance. Because one of the things which is always happening, all these companies going through reforms and changes to improve, but you have to communicate it outward, isn't it? For people to know that they are good. I mean, if I'm going to invest my money in a company, let's say in the stock market, how would I know unless they tell me that they are doing these things, that they are improving and they are ethical company? Then there is no way of knowing. So I think communication comes, especially team of managers like yourself, which are experienced, you're working every day, and it's not that you don't know these things. The key element, the spice which get the food really tasty, is the communication, isn't it? Because I mean, I know all of you can sit down and put a project plan together and go forward, but bringing you raised a question earlier on last week about how to deal with difficult people or something like that. The solution is communication.
It's communication.
It
It
actually,
is
it's
communication. But there's a mistake that some organizations make. In the area of communicating the vision of an organization to all the employees. In some organizations, they don't even know the corporate values of their organization where they work. And if you don't know the values of an organization, how do you follow it? So it should be an important thing for any organization to let all the employees of that organization understand the values of that organization. If it is integrity, you know that your behavior should tilt towards integrity. If you say yes, it should be found as yes and not as no. So organizations need to work in the area of communicating the vision, that is the future image of that organization. Where are we heading to? How do we want to get there? That's the mission, the purpose for which the organization has been set up. And then the core values are very important to be communicated so that the staff will follow suit and know everybody will go the same direction to achieve the corporate objectives and the goals.
Yeah.
Thank you.
In addition to what she has said, it's very important to understand the culture
Absolutely.
of that organization. For the organization, the culture is very important, so that you want the people to work as a team, because you have a vision, you have a mission, and you have a culture to achieve, to
work within the environment of that culture.
towards that environment. So you need to work towards that for people, for the
Team to work.
team to organize, to know exactly what you want them to do, so that you work as a team, as a group,
Exactly.
for you to achieve a common goal.
I think you nail it. You need a team, and a team by definition, that means a group of people working together with one objective. We're gonna score a goal, and that side, that our own home goal. I think just to wrap it up and bring it together, I think we're looking at the value of communication, which is so important in all management aspects. One mistake which people, organizations make, they make a mistake between the difference between broadcasting, I mean telling people what our objectives are, rather than sharing it. Which communication, it's a two-way sharing together. So a lot of companies would come and say, "Oh, we are communicating what we want." Yeah, but did you listen to other people, the other stakeholders? So just to finish the program, we're going to thank all of you for being here and being such a exciting group to work with, really. And we had a lovely time, very interactive program. And I hope you remember us in months and years to come. And hopefully you would have a nice journey back home.
Thank you.